Yeah, hi everyone. Welcome again in this session related to the mobile phone security. I am Dr. Digvijay Singh Rathod, Associate Professor, Cybersecurity and Digital Forensics Division, Gujarat Forensic Sciences University. And today I have a plan to discuss about the practical related to the Android startup process with the ADB. And I think will before we do a practical, we'll have a brief of some of the sequences which we already studied related to the Android boot process. So as you can see that this is the common boot process. The first one is the boot ROM code execution, the boot loader, then the Linux kernel will comes in the picture, and the first process which comes in the picture is called the init process. Then the Zygota and the Dalvik comes in the picture, and the last the system server will comes in the picture. So this is what there. These are the small the brief in brief 6 steps which we already studied, and this is what the common flow we have studied in detail in the earlier session. So I'm not going to discuss in detail, but yes, we trying to see some of the practicals where we can see that the init process, the Zygota process. I'm not able to demonstrate each of these top steps related to the Android boot process, but I'm trying to touch some of the processes that we can access using the ps command uh, of your Android OS. So first one, I think this is the init process is very important, and as we discussed earlier also that the init process is the very first process that start and is the root process of all other processes. So normally the process ID of the init process, as it is a first process, so we expect that the ID of the init process should be 1, and this init process will also parse the init.rc script, and they will parse this script, and they will launch the various system services processes. So we will also see that where these init rc files exist, and we try to open that file and try to understand it. And then whenever this init process is got executed, then only we can first see the Android logo in your device, on your device screen. We also see the Zygota process, and we also know that the Zygota is one of the first init process which created after the device boots, and the ultimate aim of the Zygota is to initialize the Dalvik virtual machine, and tries to create the multiple instances to support the each Android process. And we also know that the Zygota facilitates using the shared code across the virtual machine, and thus helping to save the memories and reduce the burden on the system. So we'll also see that where the Zygota actually exists inside your Android OS. So we'll move to our practical part. So let me open. This is what our just a minute. This is what our Santoku, and this is the instance of the Genymotion. So first we'll start a terminal by clicking Alt Control T. So this will open the terminal, and we'll see. We'll try to connect. Let me check that this our Santoku is connected with this Genymotion instance or not. So we'll cite ADB devices. List of the devices attached is blank. It means that my Santoku is not connected with the Genymotions with the ADB. So simple is ADB connect, and we need to provide the IP address. I think the IP address is 192.168.2. Okay, so let me minimize this one again. It's a 192. Sorry, it's 192.168.2.1. It has got connected. We'll try the ADB devices. Okay, it will shows that my device is connected. Let me clear this one. And now we want to do the practicals where we try to check the different processes which will be the part of the Android OS. So I need to get the access of a shell of your Android device, and we know that to get the access of a shell, we now normally write ADB shell. So now I'm accessing this shell of your Android device. Let's see that ls. Okay, so let's check that. So first what we'll do, the first command that is used to list out all the processes which are right now running inside your Android device. So for that we normally use a ps command. So this ps command, this will give you the list of the processes which is right now running in our, I'll say, Android device. And if you check that, there is a big list of, I'll say, the processes which is right now running in the Android device. Now if you move up, what we can find is we'll find that the different columns. Now I'm interested to column is related to the PID. Now as you can see that this is the user who is using this, I'll say, Android device. So it's a root user, and the first process ID which I can see is the 1, and we know that the init is the first process which normally get executed once you boot your device. So the process ID is 1, and let's see that what is the name of the process. So the name of the process is /init. So this shows that the init is the first process whose ID is 1. And remember one thing, uh, the ID equal to 0, 1, it means that this is the first process, and this process which will maintain the other processes. So this is the first part of it. Now the second thing is, we know that the init process, they will normally parse, I would say, the init.rc file, and from that RC file he's trying to read some of the configuration. So we'll check this one, and for that, let's see that we know that lc command, and we know that the lc command will list out all the files in front of you. Now if I'll write lc, we have a very big list. So I'll use lc, I'll say grep, and you want to search for what? I'll say that I would like to search the init files. Means I just want to display the files with init. So it will show us the many files, but I'm interested to see the init.rc file. Okay, now we know that how to check the content of the file. So let me display init.rc, and this is what I think I'll use less. Okay, and I can see that the configuration which is available inside this file. Now remember one thing, do not change this file in any case, because this file, if you change this file, it will create a big security issues, because this files contains or have the informations related to the device informations or the vendor specific information. So don't change this file. If you are interested, you can study this init.rc file for your further study. So let me exit from this file. So this is what the init.rc file. So whenever your Android device gets boot up, the init process, which is the first process, is get executed. It will pass this init file, and from that init.rc file he will get that what other processes that it needs to execute. Okay, now we'll move ahead, and let's see that the processes related to the Zygota. Okay, so obviously it is a process, then we definitely try to see the ps, and again I'll use grep command to check Zygote, sorry. So we'll see that this is what the Zygote process name, and the process ID of the Zygote is 199. Okay, and we know that the Zygote is responsible for for doing a memory space sharing between the virtual machines. Also, it will also responsible for creating the instance of the Dalvik virtual machine, or maintain the more than one instance of the Dalvik virtual machine. So this is what the simplest I'll say demonstration. Now we'll start ps, and let me execute some process here. Let's see that what we'll have. Okay, and if I'll write, sorry, the ps also, then you are able to find the list of the many processes. Okay, now we'll back to our presentation. And so in this, the simplest practicals, we'll check that where is the init process is exist. The normally process ID of the init is always one because it is responsible for creating the other, I'll say, processes. The second one is whenever the init process is got executed, it will search for the init.rc and parse the init.rc. So the init will come to know that what other process I need to create, and those processes are going to be child process of the init process. We also check that where the init.rc file exists. We also see that how do you list the different files or different files with the grep command. So you can use this grep command for searching for a specific file in the Android, which will be the part of the Android OS itself. We also check that the Zygote process and how do you display the Zygote process and how do you use the PS command, the process command with the grep option. I think this is enough for today. It's a very small application. Thank you.